Welcome back for another video. Final thoughts and tips for Game Week 34, answering the biggest questions this week, and then a final look at my free hit team with the chip active. I've made a few changes to the team following some team news from today. First question from Ash, is Trent a good pick this week? Yeah, this one's not a straightforward one either, but lots of you did ask about Trent, so let's not shy away from the harder questions. Well, first of all, on a free hit, yeah, he's viable. With no chip, I think less so basically. Like, the bottom line is, Trent looks almost certain to leave Liverpool at the end of the season. So if that's true, then how much incentive is there for Slot to keep playing him every week? However, this Sunday represents a golden opportunity for Liverpool. They can win the league, even with a draw at Anfield. And then they've got Chelsea away and then Arsenal home. So yeah, get it wrapped up at the earliest opportunity. And yeah, logically, playing your best 11 is the way to go about that, which includes starting Trent. He's one of the greatest fullbacks in Premier League history. 90 goal involvements over the last 8 seasons, let's not forget. Insane numbers, and we know his upside. There's no factual answer to this one. Like, it's really going to come down to opinions on his minutes and if he starts. My gut feeling is there's a strong chance he starts and he comes off around 70 minutes, if I was to guess. But yeah, you can be sure that absolutely no one's going to be going there besides free hitters as well, which does make him even more appealing as a differential this week on a free hit. Let us know your opinion below. Does he start or is he benched? Maxi asks, when's the best time to bench boost? And let's also use this question as an opportunity to talk about when the best time is to use all the chips, not just the bench boost in these last 5 game weeks. So yeah, the bench boost first then. It's pretty straightforward at this stage. Just have a look at your bench in future game weeks. Use a tool like Plan FPL or FPL.team and just see how your bench could look in future weeks and try and plan transfers you'll make. Like, in past seasons it's been different because we've planned quite carefully to have a stacked bench full of doublers. That's been the common strategy, but this season it's been different because they've scrapped the FA Cup replays, so we've had smaller doubles basically. I mean, Game Week 36 should be a small double game week, but again, your bench is going to be single game week players regardless, so it's irrelevant whether that's a good week to use it really. In terms of other chips, free hit would be best this game week in 34 or in Game Week 36 if that ends up a double game week. You can make the case for a Game Week 38 free hit as well. I've seen it done before, especially when there's leaks of rotation and all sorts. You can just take advantage of everything that comes in. Triple captain looks best in Game Week 36, assuming that's a double game week. I would save it till then. The wildcard looks best this week, especially if you don't have 11 players. Failing that, Game Week 35 looks a good time to use it, and you can set up for the run-in, and obviously that potential double Game Week 36. And lastly, assistant manager should go in Game Week 35 or 36 if you still have it. Again, if you wait till 35, then you'll know the possible doubles, which should be announced by then. We'll talk about the best managers in next week's video, so make sure you're subscribed. Manchester City FC17 asks if Fulham defenders are worth it on a free hit. So flavour of the week is obviously Sessegnon, who we're seeing everywhere right now, because he's a defender in FPL, but he's playing right wing in reality. 2 goals, 2 assists in his last 4, and he started 3 in a row. He's not a dead certainty to start, but he's got a decent chance of starting again. There is the likes of Willian, Traore and Wilson competing for right wing. Southampton have actually scored in 5 of the last 6 games. Fulham have got about 36% chance of a clean sheet, which isn't too bad. If you go in Fulham defence, then Sessegnon seems like he's worth the punt for that higher upside. If he starts, then he'll definitely come off early though, so there is that potential to lock in a clean sheet as well. Silva was actually asked about Wilson in his press conference. He said the following: "We could use him from the start or the bench. Sessegnon is playing well. I need to decide, but Harry will be involved." Not the most encouraging quote, is it? And it really doesn't clear up whether Sessegnon starts, or if he might change things around since he has lost the last 2 in fairness. Let's take a look at the clean sheet odds for Game Week 34. I mentioned that Fulham's was about 36 there, and we'll have a look at the projected goals as well. So yeah, Fulham, 36% chance, which places them 5th this week. It's Newcastle top with 46%, Chelsea 42, Wolves 40. So yeah, Chelsea in 3rd, Cucurella going a bit under the radar. 2nd on the clean sheet odds here, home to Everton. And it's actually by far his best goal scoring season, interestingly. He scored 6 goals in all competitions in 40 games. His previous best was 3. From Newcastle, Trippier is quite appealing. Again, there is that potential that he comes off early and locks in that clean sheet for you. But also the quality of his deliveries into the box at times, and some set pieces there. Liverpool lead on projected goals this week. They're top with 2.9, Newcastle just behind 2.85, and then Brighton on 2.0. Welbeck, another one going really under the radar. He's going to be on penalties with João Pedro suspended. It's actually his joint best goal scoring season as well. And they're playing home to West Ham, who have really got off to a poor start under Potter. Let's have a look at the scout selection next. What's the best team for GW34? By the way, credit to them last game week. They went for some rogue picks, if you recall, like Trossard, which actually came off. This week, they've gone with Kepa in goal, Trippier, Aït-Nouri and Sessegnon in defence, Salah captain, and Mbeumo, Luis Diaz, Barnes and Iwobi, and up front, Isak and Cunha. And the assistant manager's active on slot. Yeah, if you've still got the assistant manager and it's active this week, then slot's the one to go for. Because most of us are tripled up in Newcastle, of course, who look great, but yeah, I think a third Liverpool spot is probably likely to be available for you. It's a great looking team this week. If your free hit is active, how many players have you got in common with this draft? Does anyone fancy tracking how the scout does each week next season, by the way? So let's have a look at the captaincy rankings next. I've got Salah number 1 for what could be a goal fest, and it could be a day to celebrate for Liverpool fans. And then Isak, who in fairness has got an incredible fixture. Like, he's the differential bet against Salah in a way. Or the mega differential pick is Cunha. Now, if Bellegarde's still a doubt next match, then I'd especially recommend Cunha. Otherwise, he could be a little bit risky just in case he doesn't start. The captaincy widget on the app's got Salah on 5 stars this week. He's top. Then Isak's on 2 stars. And then Palmer, Welbeck and Cunha on 1 star. FPL Focal in the App Store, link below, is free. So, who are the most bought and sold players around the world this week? Cunha's claimed the top spot with 283,000 new owners so far. And then in Mbeumo after that mega haul last game week. And then it's Wood, Aït-Nouri, Barnes, Murphy, Iwobi and Wissa. So yeah, even though it feels like Sessegnon's everywhere, it's kind of easy to forget we live in a bit of a bubble when it comes to FPL. Like, there's 11 million managers and an FPL video might get, I don't know, 40, 50,000 views. So yeah, very, very small percentage of the overall player base. And Sessegnon's nowhere near this list even. So don't sweat it if you can't fit him in, or some other players in your team that you're seeing everywhere. Mateta's the most sold. And it's all players blanking actually, besides João Pedro who's suspended, that's being sold here. So Saka, Munoz, João Pedro, Sarr, Rodgers, etc. If you've got Saka and you're not free hitting, then I'd strongly recommend selling Saka for Mbeumo this week. He's got great fixtures for the run-in, nailed for 90 and on penalties. I mean, Saka might not even start in game week 35 after the blank, but we'll talk about that next week. I think I might be selling him as well. Pom Tom says, do you think it's a good idea not to have Isak and Salah on a free hit and to try and chase upside with other informed players? Yeah, going differential against the likes of Isak and Salah is really, really risky, isn't it? Like, at this stage of the season as well, it could make or break your season. Both have got amazing fixtures as well, so going without just for the sake of it, just to go maximum differential, is a bad idea in my eyes. Especially given that you're on a free hit as well. Like, don't forget, there's going to be only a handful of managers in the entire world that'll have the same starting 11 as you. Your team in combination is extremely differential. Like, there's so many low-end picks as well that you can include on a free hit, whilst retaining Isak and Salah. To give you a few names, Cunha obviously, Strand Larsen, Raul Jimenez, Kluivert, Trippier, Aït-Nouri, Luis Diaz, Cucurella. Lauren asks if Cunha plus Strand Larsen on a free hit is a good idea. Yeah, the great thing this week is there's some good fixtures where we can target the bottom 3. Wolves are home to Leicester, Newcastle home to Ipswich, and Fulham away to Southampton. So yeah, double Wolves attacks, perfectly fine. I actually ran with both myself earlier in the season, Strand Larsen and Cunha in fact, and overall went pretty well. These 4 I think are going to be the popular ones among the free hitters, so Cunha, Strand Larsen, Raul and Isak. So yeah, pick 3 if you want to target the promoted teams. The Wolves double up's a good strategy. Minden FPL says, how do I pick myself up after a bad week? For some of you, I think this question is going to be a bit of an odd one if you're one of those that can quite easily brush off a terrible game week. For others, if you're really passionate about FPL, like, it can genuinely ruin a weekend if everything goes horribly. I mean, I just about managed to laugh off what was the worst bench boost of all time in my team selection video. It was hilariously bad. Like, I bench boosted an own goal, Wan-Bissaka wasn't in the squad, Martinez and Isak blanked. I think common advice you hear is just stop playing, but I actually don't agree with that one. Like, let's be honest, we're all addicted to FPL. And we want to see this season out, don't we? We don't want to just stop now at this stage. If a bad game week is genuinely ruining your mood, then just switch off from it for a few days. Find a distraction, don't watch FPL content, ignore midweek games if there's any, or it could just end up being too consuming, like if you're thinking about the negative side of the game too much. The good news is there's always next game week, and obviously when it's game week 38 that's not true, but the good news is there's always next season. So let me run you through my updated free hit team. The team is Leno in goal, Aït-Nouri, Trippier and Trent in defence, Kluivert, Palmer, Murphy and Salah in midfield, and then it's Raul, Cunha and Isak up front. And on the bench it's Sanchez and Mbeumo, Cucurella and Sessegnon. Okay, so first of all, Silva came out with a quote this afternoon which locked Raul into my free hit team. He said the following: "Muniz is going to be out for the next game, let's see after that. It's going to be hard to have him back soon. Smith Rowe's been working with the team this week, another session tomorrow." He also said that Wilson could start or he could come off the bench, and he actually did mention that Sessegnon's playing well, so he did recognise that. So on the one hand, yeah, he's acknowledging Sessegnon. On the other hand, he could be implying that it could be one or the other in right wing. I mean, Sessegnon's a versatile player, but that seems to be his thinking based on that quote. So it got me thinking, like, I could take the chance on Sessegnon, or I could just take the chance on Trent, who's maybe slightly likely to start even. Yeah, I've ended up going with Trent starting, which, to be fair, I mean, it might be the last time I ever own Trent, who I think is the greatest defender in FPL history, so maybe there's that at the back of my head as well. I mean, Liverpool and Chelsea have got really good clean sheet odds, so it could be Trent or it could be Cucurella. They're nice alternatives for me. So I swapped Leno in for Pope, which gives me Fulham defence coverage still in case he starts. Plus it does free up a Newcastle midfielder spot for Murphy. So yeah, I think maybe it's wise as well at my rank to pick some players that could be popular to kind of reduce that rank downside. Like, I imagine Murphy is going to be something crazy like 80% effective ownership next week, isn't he? So like, if he hauls again, it could single-handedly ruin the free hit. So yeah, this feels like a settled alternative setup. I read every comment, so share your thoughts on this updated free hit team and what you think, plus your thoughts on Sessegnon and the Trent situations. As always, we're going to be live for a deadline stream Saturday morning. See you then.